Well, hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj. How you doing, sir?
I am doing well. Actually, this is a special edition of CropLife Retail Week in one sense, in that it will be the before Thanksgiving CropLife Retail Week. So I brought my two pilgrims just to kind of illustrate, yep, Thanksgiving's a coming. So I know you and I have talked many a times of how it's both our favorite holiday because basically you have to eat and there is nothing else involved other than that, which is really a beautiful thing.
And there's a lot of football. I get a lot of crap at home for saying it's basically, it's the man's holiday because, it's big. You get it over with and then you have 3 days to enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, but it still is.
Yes, it still is. So yes, a happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there who was watching us today. A little early, but nonetheless, coming up in a couple of days.
Absolutely. Well, I would have a little decoration. It's actually right outside here was a 4-foot tall scarecrow that we used to put out in the living room, but it freaked my daughter out all the time. She's like in her 20s. Every time she come in, she's like, "Well, is that thing alive?" So it ended up here, and it was right outside my door, and now it's gone. So I'm a little concerned. If I'm not here for next week for Thanksgiving, and you hear about my demise, then it might have been something. I don't know.
I'm picturing the scene from Poltergeist with the clown in the chair in the little boy's room, and then he keeps shining the flashlight on it, and eventually it disappears. So, Paul, you may be in trouble.
They're here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're about a holiday too late for the scary stuff, but okay, no problem.
Well, there's. I don't think the spirits actually pay attention to those holidays. They just come when they want to. Anyway. So what's going on? So we had our Precision Ag Alliance meeting, which is a group of technology companies, software companies that come together. We talk about how to improve adoption of technology, and we had a grower panel. And basically, the takeaway for me, and it was a group of growers that were really very advanced as far as technology, and a lot of them are really choosing to go with, when you look at technology and data, they're going with companies that they feel they trust and that have people that have been hired that they trust and have worked with in the past. So again, it just points to, there was a lot of consternation about, what happened during the .com, listen to me, what happened during the big boost of investment in venture capital and companies that had a lot of technology ideas, but weren't able to support it, weren't able to provide kind of the people or the resources to help them use these technologies. So you're looking around now, and it's really the ag companies that exist that are providing the solutions, and those are the folks that they're going with. So it's after everything that's happened, it's come down to we're looking for the companies and the people that we trust to help us with technology. So I thought that was kind of an interesting observation in the fact that there wasn't a lot of new revelations, but it was like returning to, taking stock of what they have and saying, who should we go with that we really trust and believe in ag. So that was a good meeting.
Yeah, no, it sounds like, again, we've always talked about the role of trusted advisor in the marketplace and how important that is to the ag community in general. So it's nice to know that, here we are 20 some years later covering this market, and that variable has not changed at all.
You bet. So I know that's some news.
Yeah, actually, since it's fall, Paul, I know we've been doing some updates on the harvest report, how much crop is out of the field across this great country of ours. And this may be my last harvest report, I will say, because based on the numbers, there's not much more to go. According to the figures, through November 15th, you got 3 of the major 4 crops well over 90% harvested. Wheat at 94%, soybeans at 92%, and corn at 91%. So the only one lagging is cotton. It's only at 65%, but given the region of the country where cotton tends to be grown, Obviously, they have more of a harvest window than the folks up here in the north might. So again, 3 out of the 4 over 90% harvested. So moving along just fine. I know I've seen several combines out in my area here in Ohio. So looks like the fields are basically almost empty.
That's good. Sorry to those who are still struggling. You know, I see, you know, as you watch Twitter, you get a sense for who those folks are. But yeah, it's been for most folks, it's been pretty remarkable how fast things have gone this year. So that's good to hear that we're moving toward more of a general success with getting the crop in.
Yeah. So, and then Paul, I've got something else to share. Of course, I guess under the heading of more of the same is, we've noted there've been a lot of retirements going on in the marketplace, and we found out about another one this past week. Our friend Jim Spradlin, who is the CEO at GROWMARK, has decided to call it a career. He's going to be stepping aside at the end of February in 2022. He's been with the company since 2014 as the CEO, and he's a good guy. Talked to him several times, wish him the best. And his replacement is going to be Mark Orr, who has been serving as the VP of Agronomy at GROWMARK since 2014. He will now be taking over as the new CEO starting March 1. So welcome, Mark. Look forward to a call between you and I some here in time in the near future to talk about your plans for GROWMARK. And like we said, best wishes to Jim in his retirement.
Yep, best of luck, and yes, and indeed best wishes. Jim was always ready to talk, willing to talk about what's going on in the markets and with retail. So yeah, congratulations on a wonderful career, and we'll miss you.
Yeah. So one other thing to share, I know I was going back reading through some back issues of the magazine, and I came across my January 2021 upfront column, where I basically predicted a couple of things for the marketplace going forward. Now, this was under the assumption that COVID-19 would no longer be an issue. So I had predicted that trade shows were going to come back very strongly in 2021. That really didn't happen. There have been a couple that we've had here in the summertime, and I know there's the Agricultural Retailers Association meeting coming up here in a couple of weeks in San Antonio, but there were still a lot of virtual events versus live in-person events. But happy to note that looking ahead to 2022 in the early part of the year, that it looks like in-person trade shows are going to become a thing again. I received notice this past week from both the National Farm Machinery Show and the Commodity Classic that registration was open for those two events. And if you're interested in attending, National Farm Machinery will take place February 16th to the 19th in Louisville, Kentucky, like it always does. And Commodity Classic is going to be a little later, March 10th through the 12th, and it's going to be in one of my favorite cities for food, Paul, New Orleans. So I'll be looking forward to going to that and enjoying some etouffee and Creole and jambalaya and other fine Cajun dishes that I really enjoy.
Probably like meeting some people too, but it's more about the food. And
yeah, you know, there may be some people there. In between bites, I'll say hi. See, I'm already in the Thanksgiving eating mode, thinking ahead. So
nice. That's great. Yes, yes. Yes, you are well known around Meister as the connoisseur of fine dining around wherever city we happen to be visiting. So we
yes. So Paul, of course, now it is time for your absolutely favorite segment of the show.
No, it's not. It's not yet. No. It's actually not yet.
Not yet?
No. I just want to mention travels last week. I did talk to Darren Kopic over at the ARA, and he said the show is going gangbusters. He said attendance is really strong, and he says people just seem to be really ready from the retail side to get together. So congratulations to them, for kind of hitting it at a really good timing right before the holidays, and putting together a program and a group of people that want to get together. So that should be fantastic when you get out there. We have a roundtable scheduled there, and Eric, you're going to kind of hold down the fort for us on CropLife. So that should be part Also, I mentioned that we're still working on a vision conference. Part putting together the last pieces of the agenda on that. It's really, really looking good. People are kind of waking up now, thinking about 2022 planning and how they're going to, what they're going to, where they're going to go and travel to. And now we're getting lots of interest, trying to lock that up in terms of attending. And so, we encourage you to get out to Phoenix and check us out there. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, looking forward to both of those, of course. So yeah, we'll have more information on those in the upcoming weeks.
Okay, now you can resume your program.
Now I can embarrass you. Okay, fair enough, Paul. Time for your favorite segment. Fun with numbers. Now this one, Paul, you should get, because we were talking about it just before we got on air. So that is a clue.
Oh.
That is a clue. The number this week, the number for you this week is 61%. And your clue is John Deere. So what would 61% represent?
Boost in sales.
More. All right. No,
no.
I'm sorry. Another buzzer for Paul. No, of course, we've been talking for the last couple of weeks here, a couple of videos. John Deere workers have been on strike looking for some better pay, better working conditions, better benefits for the employees. And on the third go around of contract voting, 61% of the John Deere workers have voted in favor of the company's latest, newest, best proposal. So that's your number, Paul. 61% said, yep, we like this new contract offer from the company. And speaking of that offer, it offers an immediate 10% wage increase for all workers now, along with a 5% bump in pay come 2023 and another 5% in 2025. And there's also something, Paul, called a ramification bonus, which is $8,500. So again, those are some of the details. But yes, John Deere workers on the third time was the charm for their voting on a new contract. So they're going to be going back to work, and our friends at John Deere will start making products again for the whole marketplace. That's
good. Yeah, it's good to get that out of the news cycle quickly, get back to work and get on with things. And, everybody that emails me says, how can you put up with this? He abuses you every week.
I know.
It's true. It's turning on you. Everybody's turning on you now.
All right. Well, I guess, like I said, Paul, one of these weeks, you need to come up with a quiz for me. Just hit me back. Do some research, come up with a number, and just go first. And then I won't have the ability to go second. So.
Yeah, it'll be something like, I'm thinking of a number. Tell me.
Yes.
So I can buzz you.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's a lot. Okay. Well, that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.